Shalom, this is Yahawah, and this is Kawal with the GMS Dallas Camp. First off, we want to give all praises to Yahawah, by sham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Salutations to the Akim scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, keeping this truth in sincerity. We just wanted to go into a quick topic, going into these certain religious leaders, you know. Me and Kawal were watching a video earlier about Joel Osteen, you know, like an exposed video, pretty much going into what he teaches and the way he presents himself, you know. For example, you know, he teaches that there are many paths to who the world calls Jesus Christ, right? When the scriptures clearly say that there's only one path. If you want to get that in Matthew, John chapter 10.
John chapter 10, verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber.
So if you try and find, if you're saying there's many ways to get to so-called Jesus, or to get to Yahawashi, you know, you're pretty much breaking in like a thief, you know, because there's only one way to Yahawashi. And it's the truth and the water of this word, you know, not what you think, not what your opinion is, you know, like it says in Proverbs chapter 3 verse 6, you know, or if you want to get that actually, you know, because that's mostly what he's getting or doing, you know. We were watching the video. He says, well, I feel like there are many ways to Jesus Christ, you know. I mean, he'll say there's only one way to God and many ways to Jesus Christ, you know, when the scriptures clearly tell you, you know. But, you know, that's just him going off his own vain opinion. If you want to go ahead and get that, I think it starts at 5, don't it?
Yeah, I'll start at 5.
Yeah.
Trust in Yahawah with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
You know, lean not to thine own understanding, man. Which is what's mostly these false prophets, you know, this is what they do. You know, he was the whole time we were watching the video, we didn't hear him quote not one scripture.
He never reads any scriptures ever.
Yeah, you know, and if he does, you know, maybe in one of his sermons, you know, I'm not gonna sit and watch the whole thing, but but you know, if you know, he probably does mention a scripture, you know, going into love or something, because that's mostly what his sermon's about, is love, prosperity, wealth, you know.
Pretty much everything against the scriptures.
Yeah, pretty much everything against the scriptures, you know. Not showing any proof or any facts, going into the Bible, you know. You can go back to John chapter 10.
Verse 2. But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep.
You know. Go ahead.
To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice. And
the porter is somebody that would stand by the gate, you know, pretty much be like a, what do you call those? You know, the ones at the hotels where they open the doors for people and stuff. I don't know, but you know, just somebody that was at the gate and it would open the doors to the gate, you know. Go ahead. Was that it on that?
To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calleth his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out.
You know, and that, you know, and it goes into, you know, how the sheep hear his voice, you know, talking about the elect. But if you want to go to Matthew chapter 7,
verse
13.
Matthew 7 and 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
You know, and that wide is broad is the gate that leadeth to destruction. You know, so, you know, there's many paths to get in through that broad gate. You know, and that's what Joel Osteen goes into. You know, teaching that you can go this way and that way, or do this and that. You know, but as long as you have faith in Jesus, you can make it.
And every time I see Joel Osteen on the commercial or whatever, and they show the audience, a big, gigantic audience he has, it's almost all Jakes in there, man.
Yeah.
They're like older, like 50, 60-year-old Jakes and their wives and just smiling up at them, looking stupid as hell.
God.
I mean, like, what planet are y'all living on, man?
Yeah.
You look to this weirdo for, for spiritual guidance, man.
Yeah, some heathen. I don't even know.
Not reading any scriptures. Just getting fed all this prosperity nonsense, man. You need to wake up. Because it's, or the Most High is going to deal with you.
God. You go ahead.
Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life.
Yeah, man. Narrow is that, read it again.
Straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life.
Narrow is the gate that leadeth to life, man. Like if you go into 2 Ezra chapter 7, you know that little path that actually, matter of fact, can you go to 2 Ezra chapter 2? I'm sorry, 2 Ezra chapter 7. I believe it's like around the 5th verse or something.
Verse 4.
Okay, you got it?
2 Ezra 7 verse 4. I'll start at 3.
Yeah, go.
And I said, speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow, and like a river.
Narrow like a river, Now this is going into pretty much the kingdom being at the other end, and the deep water on one side and the fire on the other side. Pretty much, it's not going to be easy to attain the kingdom. But I'm using this as an example as that narrow path. It's not a wide, broad gate or path where you can just go anywhere and you'll make it. It's a narrow path to where only one person can go at a time. There's only one way, just not some broad path where you can, just go.
In other words, this isn't, this ain't no picnic. It's if you're gonna take this thing, you need to take the whole roll, as it says in the scriptures.
There's more on that, but
yeah.
Well, just read it.
All right,
just
yeah.
read it.
Verse 5: Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad?
That's going into pretty much make the kingdom. If you can't make it through the hardships, then how? Read it again.
Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad?
Yeah, how can he come into the broad if he ain't gone through that? Through that damn that straight gate, so to speak. You can go back on Matthew chapter 7, finish that off.
Yeah, I lost my place there.
Oh, you good? Well, yeah, just like we read in Matthew chapter 7, you got to go through that straight gate, not the broad gate, not the gate that has many paths, but the straight gate that leads to the through that one path, Yahawashi,
Matthew chapter 7 verse 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. And that's talking about you, Joel Osteen.
Yeah, going into these false prophets, Joe Osteen, our prime example.
Yeah. We know you're a Satanist, man.
Yeah, the things that he teaches, about wealth and prosperity, and love this and love that. You know what I'm saying? You could, if you know the scriptures, you would already be able to discern that this devil, I don't know what the hell he is. I don't know if he's an Edomite or a Moabite or a mix, something, but it looks like a fucking rat to me. But just the false prophets, leading people astray, making millions, just deceiving people. They were asking them, do you ask people for money or something like that? And he's like, no, we don't ask people for money, but if you show yourself to be genuine, they just give you money. You know what I'm saying?
Turning the church into a den of thieves.
Con.
Yahawashi, yeah.
So like, you gonna say something?
I was gonna say just Yahawashi went in and kicked over the money tables.
Yeah, man.
Yahawashi did that.
Selling books. Making millions.
Yeah, where do you get off selling just books, man? Like
just a book full of opinions,
full of shit. Yeah. All you need is the scriptures, man. That's all you need. That's all you need is the scriptures. Not some with that Jezebel wife of his always standing at looking like a demon.
Is there any more to that?
I'll just read it again. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's a ravening wolf. He's ripping you off and laughing all the way to the bank, man. And you're none the wiser. You're not any closer to the kingdom. You're not any closer to any wisdom. You're just just a bump on a log, man.
Is there more to that chapter, or is that
it? Sure. Verse 16: Ye shall know them by their fruits.
Yeah, man. You shall know them by what they their fruits, what they say. You know what I'm saying? What they teach.
Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?
Actually, can you go to Jeremiah chapter 5? Start off at 26. Actually, start off at 27. Because Joel Osteen likes to go into prosperity and wealth and love and all these things, when the scriptures say that the poor and the meek will inherit the kingdom of heaven, Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 27. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit.
Come on.
Therefore they are become great and waxen rich.
Yeah, man, and through them deceits they've waxen rich. Selling books, putting themselves on TV, preaching their doctrine, their love doctrine or whatever it might be, in that video we saw it was said that Joe Osteen has his own doctrine or his own way of preaching Jesus or whatever it was pretty much saying that he had his own doctrine, of how he taught, how he teaches the Bible. Go ahead.
They are waxen fat, they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked.
Okay, now that's going into this chapter's going into Israel, but I'm applying it to these wicked as false prophets, teaching our people and leading them astray, teaching them deceits.
Yeah,
you can jump down to
scriptures say you are of your father the devil. Talking about Israel.
You can jump down to verse 29.
Verse 29. Shall I not visit for these things, saith Yahawah?
Go ahead.
Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this?
The most like the Most I say, shall I not visit for these things? Of course, this chapter is going into Israel, but you can also apply it to these Edomites going into churches. These full of Israelites. Teaching them lies. Teaching them about Jesus Christ and all that. Teaching them to love everybody and all these things. Shall not the Most High visit for these things? Go ahead.
Verse 30. A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so.
Yeah, man. They bear rule by their own means. They do what they think is right. They teach what they think is correct. They don't go according to the Spirit. like Apostle Ramlab said, you know, they follow a curriculum. You know, they don't go by the Spirit. You know, they go by like certain rules and things that they think that should be taught.
Mm-hmm. Just like, you know, we were talking about the Jehovah's Witnesses earlier. You know, they read that Watchtower book. You know, Mormons got the Book of Mormon. You know, so on and so forth. Just all these false doctrines and, you know.
Yeah, you can go ahead and finish that one.
What will you do in the end thereof?
Yeah, man. And what are you gonna do at the end? You know, Most High is gonna, you know, like that one black preacher in The Walking Dead. I don't know if you've seen it. But you know, he was a so-called pastor, right? And when all hell broke loose, you know, when all the zombies started coming, you know, he locked his people outside the church and left them to die. You know, they all got eaten up, but he survived inside by himself because he locked everybody else out. You know, it's just, you know, in that day, you know, they're gonna show their true colors. You know, I mean, we see their true colors right now, but you know, they're gonna show themselves. They're gonna make their wicked selves made manifest in that day. You know,
when the shit hits the fan, all these prosperity people they're gonna be flying away in their jets, or at least trying to. You know, they're gonna be out on their yachts or in their, you know, in their underground bunkers and whatever, man. You know, they got.
Yeah, you know, talking about the elites and stuff.
Lined up for that, yeah.
You know, as far as your pastors, you know, they're gonna be, you know, that all that money that they racked up for deceiving people, lying, cheating, you know, that ain't gonna save them at the end of the day, because the Most High, at the end of the day, the Most High is gonna judge them for all that, you know, all the wicked acts that they did, you know, pertaining to what they taught, you know, in these whorehouses, you know, these churches, you know, the Most High is going to judge them for that, you know, for the Israelite false prophets and the heathens.
That's right.
You know, like it says in Psalms, you know, for these heathens, you know, who are what does it say? Go to Psalms chapter 50. I think it's in chapter 50 or somewhere on there. You know what I'm talking about? Where it says, who are you to put my laws in your mouth, or something like that? I think it might be 50. Yeah, 50 and verse 16.
Psalms 50 verse 16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth. Yeah,
man. Y'all ain't got nothing to do with this word, man. Y'all shouldn't be out here preaching or having these mega churches, building these mega churches, you know, teaching the word of the Most High. Well, not really even teaching the word Most High, because y'all don't bring out no scriptures. You know, and when you do, it's just one liner.
John 3:16.
Yeah, John 3:16 or something like that.
I remember they made a joke. They said, y'all's Bible would just be one page long. Huh?
Yeah.
They just have one page.
Yeah, you know, they quote one scripture and then they'll go off and talk about something that happened to them, or give an example, long-ass exaggerated example.
Giving you smooth words, you know.
Yeah, you know. But, you know, just going on, following that curriculum, you know, teaching what Esau wants them to teach. You know, for our people and these heathens going around in these churches being false prophets. You know, and that was it on that. You know, and that's pretty much all we wanted to get into, you know, unless you had something else. That's it? Okay. All right, well, with that, Shalom.